Hello, and welcome to this short video on academic sources, why would we use them, how to find them, and how does ChatGPT fit in with that? So let's go. So starting off, my name is Kim. I am one of the many academic librarians here at Atkins Library, and I am here to help you with your research from beginning to end. So let's dive in. Books. Why would I want to use them in my research? Well, first of all, they're going to be fairly easy to read. So that's meant that books are generally written for a wider audience. So they're going to use a lot less jargon than academic journal articles. And they're going to provide a lot more background, context, examples. They're going to explain their concepts because they're assuming their readers need to know a little bit more. So you're going to get a lot of information out of them. And finally, academic books are often written in what is known as an edited volume, meaning that someone put out a call and asked for authors to send in chapters about a individual theme related to the broader theme of the book. So let's say the book is about hurricanes and someone sends in an individual chapter about like wind, rain, thunder, the eye of the storm. And they're usually written by different people. So that means that oftentimes they can count as individual sources. If your ultimate goal for your project at the moment is to get the sources that you need, and in addition to them being the best sources that you can find, you will often find some multiple sources within one book. So that also means you do not have to read an academic book like this from beginning to end because each chapter is individual and they don't necessarily, flow all together. So you can just focus on the chapters that are related to your topic or inquiry question and ignore the rest. Now, academic journal articles. Why would I want to use those in my research? So first of all, they're going to be about research studies and in focused research itself. So they're going to talk about what they did, how they did it, what they found, and how it relates to other research. They are going to explain everything so you can follow along and review what their methods were for yourself. So that adds a lot of credibility and reliability to the research. And it also goes through a peer-reviewed process where helping to remove bias and inaccuracies where someone in the same field as the article's authors or what was published in will also look over that work and review it to look for any mistakes, to review the methods, review the research, review the questions to make it the best it can be. And then finally, they are written by experts for experts. So they are written by people with experience in their field, with PhDs and academic knowledge of their subject. Also could be written by students, people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, kind of just depends on the field. And this can also be why they're a little bit harder to read because they are written to be read by others in the field. So they're expecting that if you're reading it, you already have knowledge of that field. So how do we find all of these? So starting at the library homepage in this middle search bar where I've got the arrow pointing, it's where you want to put in your search terms. Now you can't ask it a question like you can with Google, so you'll have to use search terms. So if you need help with those, I've got another video on that. So to limit it to books, over on the left where my arrow is, you can narrow it down by the resource type. If you are at home and you don't have time to come into the library to grab a print book, you can narrow it just to ebooks. A lot of our newer items coming in are in ebook format. If you want everything, you can select everything. Or if you're in the library and you prefer to read print and you want some print books that day, you can narrow it down to print books. So how do I get to academic journal articles? Same area, but different section. So on the left, again, where my arrow is, where it says availability, if you select this button here, peer reviewed. So this, I think, is the best tool so far in the library search system to narrow down to academic journal articles. Now, that's not to say that it's going to only have academic journal articles. Some other things can get through because they're published within academic journals. So you might see things like book reviews, and some other types of articles might come through, like an opinion piece. And then it also, though, does not include other items that did go through a peer review process, but are not published in academic journals. So remember I was talking about those books, those edited volumes. Some academic books do go through a peer review process before they're published, but they're not academic journal articles. So that's just how the library search system functions right now. So to request a print book, you can log in here through the middle and go into your library account. It is just connected to your UNCC login, and you can request a book through that way. Just follow the steps. If you want an ebook or a journal article, it's going to look like this. They'll both look the same. At the top, it'll say available online. If you click that, it's going to pop you down to where that second arrow is underneath. You'll see all of those links down below. You do not need to know what those mean. Those are just the Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon of the academic publishing world. They're just different publishing platforms. So like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, when you click on them, it's going to take you to where you want to go, but it might look a little bit different for each platform. But if the link does not work, there is another link underneath that says access issue ? Report a broken link. If you click on this, it is going to pop out a form that is going to ask for some information about you. The most important piece is where it says, would you like us to contact you? Please say yes, and then put in your email, because then a librarian will get back to you pretty quickly to let you know, hey, we fixed the link, it's working now, or hey, nope, that link doesn't work. Here's some directions for how to get it through your interlibrary loan account, which is separate from your regular Atkins Library account, because the interlibrary loan account looks for books outside of Atkins Library. We can get books and articles from other libraries, and all those directions will be in there. And if you're still getting stuck and can't get what you need, you can always come to the front desk of the library. You can call the library or go to the library homepage, and there is a chat button on the bottom right-hand corner that comes directly to a human at the library. It comes to one of us. So remember I was talking about how book chapters are often written by different authors. So here is a list of all of the book chapters. It says contents over on the left. While it might look like this unfriendly block of text, it's easier to manage than having a long list, because then you might be scrolling forever on this page. So it comes in this block of text with slashes in between. What I have underlined right here were my search terms. It was anthropology and violence, but I'm going to change the page and update it now that there is a second set of underlines where I have underlined different authors' names. We've got a Hillary, a Yasmina, Jennifer, Rebecca, Kimberly. See, different authors, different chapters, different topics. These can likely count as a few different sources. So we mentioned ChatGPT. Let's now ask ChatGPT to find a source, because we want to see what happens. And I also want to know if you or myself, the researcher, can I find the actual source that ChatGPT recommends? And keep in mind too that this has been filmed in spring of 2024, and this might change by the time you're watching it. If it has changed, please let me know. I will try to keep these videos up to date, but these platforms can change fast, so I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to side by side it. And now I've got ChatGPT. You can see it's 3.5 over here. Let's ask it, can you find me an academic article on video games and mental health? Let's see what it does. All right, it is already changed up to not giving me any sources. So it's saying I can't browse the internet in real time, so I can't find or provide links to specific articles. That has changed. It is, however, giving you still some recommendations. It's saying I can suggest some general search terms you can use to find academic articles on video games and mental health. You can try searching for terms like, quote, video game and mental health, end quote, effects of video games on mental health, end quote, or, quote, video game addiction and mental health, end quote. You can use databases like PubMed, Google Scholar, or PsycInfo to find relevant articles. Interesting. I'm going to try to ask it again. Let's see. Let's ask it why. Why can't you give me a specific article? I really need one. Okay, it's just kind of saying the same thing. It cannot browse the internet in real time. All right. So this is a change from some earlier editions where it was giving a list of sources, it was giving articles, and folks were realizing, hey, those articles aren't correct, or I can't find that article. I don't even know if this is a real article. So that's the goal of tools, that they improve over time. So it's great that it's not doing that. So let's see okay, let's look at this instead. So it's mentioned some databases. So let's say, okay, I want to look in PubMed or PsycInfo. So let me maximize my screen over here. I am going to open up another tab. I'm going to the library homepage because I want to show you where you could go to get those databases. So on the library homepage, ignore anything right here. We always have live notes on the library homepage. By the time you're watching this still might not be accurate, but I just want to point out what that is. So we have our middle search bar underneath where it says databases. If you click on this link right here, it's going to open you up to a new page. It's going to give you some different ways to get to databases. This one right here is going to give you a list of the top 10 most popular databases with a link. This one right here is going to list every single database that we have, so you can scroll and find ones individually. If you want to look up databases by subject, you can click here, and it'll take you to a page of all of the subject areas that you study here on campus. And it will link you to another page with a list of databases related to that subject. And finally, down here, you can search for the databases. Now, this is not really a search button. It's more of a drop-down menu, so you'll need to know the name of the database. But since ChatGPT suggested PubMed, let's try that out. So I typed in PubMed. PubMed is right here. Let's click on that. And it's going to take me to the database directly. So now I can put my search terms here in the middle and keep searching. So ChatGPT gave me a good suggestion of where to go, and it's great that it did not tell me some actual articles so that we are not having to spend more time trying to figure out, are those articles real? Are they scholarly? Where did they get them from? So that's a great thing. Tools are always improving. So that is all I have for you here. If you want to learn more about ChatGPT, I recommend asking your professors if it's allowed to be used. I'm searching through the internet because as a tool, it's going to update frequently and often. And if you have any questions or need help with research, finding sources, or developing your topic, or if you're just struggling to find what you need to find, come chat with me. You can email me. Again, my name is Kim, and you can email me at kluby@charlotte.edu. Thanks.